Hey there! Or something. I was trying to be cool. Let me be cool for once. Anyway, today we're going to have a look at this pen. It is very, very white. This is in fact the Visconti Rembrandt. Now, I have reviewed a Rembrandt before, but first of all, that's a long time ago. Second of all, that was the special Dutch calligraphy set, which was an orange pen. It came with different nibs. This is the regular Rembrandt without the calligraphy set, with the new style steel Visconti nib, and I got some review requests to review the specific finish. Also, the pen will be given away. Yes, this was kindly sent to me by Joost Appelboom of Appelboom Pennen, and he said I could give it away, so that's what I'm going to do. First, I'm going to cover the parts of the pen. I'll do a writing sample, I'll tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and somewhere in between I'll tell you how to win. So, let's not waste any time, let's get started. Okay, so here we go. I have this black background. I don't know how well that is going to work with the camera, but I have a white pen to review, and I was of the impression that if I were to use my regular white background and would put the white pen on it, that would not work so well. Whoops, sorry. And at least this way you have a bit of a contrast, so let's hope this works out. Let's first talk about this pen. So it was sent to me by Appelboom, that's very nice. Right, and it comes in this box. Now let me show you the box first, and then we'll move into the pen. It's a nice Visconti style box with this, whoops, this fake, sorry, that was my cup, this fake leather they do. Now of course I have dark brown on a black background, which does not work so well. In other words, there is no winning, but I'm gonna try anyway. You open up the box, you have the little Visconti booklet with their good old-fashioned beautiful looking nib, which has now been changed. Nice booklet, full color. I've seen these a few times before. And then we have the little pen sleeve, and of course the box, and the pen does fit in the box rather nicely, so that is quite cool. Okay, then we have the actual pen. This pen, let me zoom in so you can see it a bit better. It's very white and it overexposes really easily, kind of like my skin. Hashtag fact. I also burn, in the sun, I crisp up, it's incredible, but I won't discuss you any further, let me just continue. Here you have the pen, side by side with the Lamy Safari, so you can see it's not a whole lot smaller. And these pens are 140 euros, and I always enjoyed the Rembrandt. It's a simple, unassuming model. They come in a number of finishes, which is nice. They have the Visconti clip that people either love or hate. Now no longer filled with enamel, but this is laser engraved, which I will say I personally think has cheapened the clip a little bit. I seem to recall that the orange Rembrandt I had actually had that enamel, but you know, that's how it is. It also, and I kind of wanted to point that out before I forget, it also has the new style Visconti nib, which has those two O's on there. That is the new indicator of nib grade. Visconti has chosen not to put F, M, or B on the nibs again for fine, medium, or broad, but now puts 1, 2, or 3 dots to indicate the same thing on there. So 1 dot is fine, 3 dots is broad, and this would then be a medium nib. I'll be entirely honest, I find this a little confusing. I think most people understand FMB, whereas random circles may not be immediately apparent to everyone, but okay. The pen is filled with a cartridge converter, so either you use a converter or in this case a black cartridge, and that's pretty much it. So let's cover the parts of the pen, and then we'll do a little writing sample. So on top of the pen we have the finial. The finial does say Visconti, and it does say made in Italy. Double checking. Yes, it does say made in Italy. I'm sorry, I suddenly started to doubt myself and I can't see it 100% on the LCD screen. Bear with me. The clip, right, as I said, this is the clip that now has a laser engraving as opposed to enamel on it. It does have the unbreakable reputation still. Again, the pen is very white, overexposed easily. Maybe if I put it on my skin, I don't know what works best. We have the big center band here, which says Rembrandt, or if you want to split hairs with the Dutchman, Rembrandt. Yes, please repeat after me, Rembrandt. And then you have nice bit of sort of a scroll work there. Barrel, pretty consistent, then tapers down and ends in a little metal end cap. Pen uncaps with a magnetic closure, which is kind of fun. You can make this pen post, but I have not found any magnetism in the barrel, so that will give you a bigger pen, but you cannot actually utilize that magnet that's in the cap. Metal section. Metal sections are not for everyone, and in this case, yes, it will get slippery with extended writing. It really depends on whether you like that or not. Some people hate it, some people don't care. I personally don't care, but that is of course a very personal opinion. We have the nib, right, as I've just shown you, the Visconti steel nib. This is the medium, but I think it writes like a fine. Plastic feed, and as I've already shown you, it's a cartridge converter filled pen. The nibs are available on this model as fine, medium, or broad. In other words, 1, 2, or 3 dots or circles on the nib. Okay, let me zoom out a little bit for you, and then I shall do a writing sample. This is the marble white finish. I have seen it advertised as marble white and white marbled, so you'll have to look for that, but I think there only is one white, so it doesn't really matter. There's the steel fine nib, and the ink is just a black cartridge, which I'm pretty sure came with the pen. And this does look like Visconti black to me. That's not a super saturated black. Okay. It's a medium nib. I find this very skinny for a medium, to be honest. There is quite a bit of feedback as I write with this. However, I also used this pen, Visconti B.R.E. I also use this because this came in the same shipment from Appelboom for me to review, and this nib on the B.R.E. is way scratchier. So to be honest, this is not terrible, just a bit of feedback. Let's do some fast writing. Pretty nice consistent flow, so that is really nice. As to the wetness of this pen, it's not super wet. Now, I say again, in my mind, this pen really writes like a fine, not like a medium, but that's okay. Line variation, as always, we're very careful. There is some to be had. And then let's finish up with reverse writing. Well, that definitely takes this from basically a fine to an extra fine, but as you can see, it starts to run dry very quickly. I think we should have a good look at what I like about this pen and what I not like. Let's do that now. Okay, what do I like, what do I not like about the Rembrandt pen? Well, I've owned a Rembrandt and I think it's a very nice model. I think it has a lot of things going for it. The fact that it is relatively affordable as Visconti's go. 140 euros, that's definitely not nothing. But given that Visconti's can be well up of 1,000, 10,000, etc., I don't think 140 euros is that bad. Again, I'm not saying it's cheap, but relatively speaking, I don't think it's terrible. I like the design. The magnetic cap is fun. I have heard reports of people complaining about corrosion on the metal ring on the inside, which can be a bit of a problem. I don't actually believe I don't think I've actually experienced that on one of my pens. I think not, but may depend a bit on the humidity of the area where you live, etc. I like that you can get these in several finishes. This white marble is very nice. It looks very virtuous because of the white. It's kind of nice, and that I really like. I like the center band with the Rembrandt on it. It's refined. Has a bit of scroll work on it. I kind of like that. So that's good. It's also a relatively lighter pen, it's not very heavy, and some Viscontis are massive, and although I am a person that likes a bigger pen, not everybody does. I think this is a pretty good one-size-fits-all, especially when you post it, you have a decent length, the pen is not too girthy, so everyone can wrap their fingers around it. Now, it comes with a steel nib, that's nice. There used to be a palladium upgrade. I didn't see that on the StephenBrown website. I don't know if it's possible, you can always ask them, but that used to be an option. I am not sure how I feel about this new Visconti labeling system with 1, 2 or 3 circles instead of fine, medium or broad, because I think fine, medium or broad, FMB, would be very obvious to every pen user in the world, whereas random circles, in my mind, don't necessarily make a lot of sense. But of course, that's a design choice that they have made. This nib is not a medium, even though it is labeled medium. I would really say this is a fine. I really can't say anything else beyond this. I had the same in the same shipment from StephenBrown. I also got a Visconti B.R.E, which has the same steel nib, same labeling as medium, and that is actually a medium. I'm just doing this off camera here, but the other one is actually fine. So you can see the yellow here is the B.R.E, and even though that is a light ink, the black that was in the Rembrandt is that nib just writes finer, but both are medium nibs. So I'm afraid that this means that the slight inconsistency that we have seen in the past in Visconti nibs is still a thing. Interesting, because I did understand they discontinued their extra fine to only have these fines because the fine, sorry, not these fines because it's a medium, but because the fines are now finer than they used to be. And I have indeed used Visconti fines in the past that were like a broad, and I've used Visconti fines that were like an extra fine. In this case, this medium, in my mind, is a fine, but look at the writing sample, form your own opinion. Things I don't like so much about it. Well, these pens, the Visconti pens, used to have enamel on the clip, and now it's just a laser engraving. In my mind, that has cheapened the clips a bit. I understand that this is more cost efficient than the enamel, and if you've never seen the enamel, then you may not know the old situation, and this may look cool, and I'll be fair, it does look cool, but it's no enamel. And this may only again be an issue if you know the old situation, and yes, then things were a little different, and I kind of prefer that enamel to this laser engraving, but that's me. Again, if you don't know the old situation, it wouldn't really matter to you. Again, my biggest issue with this is not the magnetic closure, not the steel section. I'm good with all that. My issue is mainly the nib. I really wish that there would be more consistency in the way Visconti puts these out, because I have 2 pens with the same nib type on it, with the same nib grade on it, and one medium is a medium and one medium is a fine. Now this is not unique to Visconti, you see this with Lamy. The Lamy extra fines are known to be a bit dodgy and some are much broader than others. But, come on people! Can we not fix this? Can we not have consistency where when you say fine it's a fine and when you say medium it's a medium? I think that would be really, really nice for the end user. But don't take my word for it. Tell me what you think. Do you think it's an issue that if you buy a medium... That's not a leading question. Do you think you would be bothered if you wanted to buy a medium and you got something that's labeled medium that kind of writes like a fine? Or would you not be bothered? Because I'm sure there are people out there who don't care and maybe just think I'm nitpicking. So I would genuinely love to hear. Leave your comment below. Und jetzt das große giveaway. You can win this pen! And here's what you need to do. Leave a comment and tell me what your favorite Rembrandt painting is. That's how you enter. Can you also enter just leaving a comment saying, this is my entry? No, you will not be considered. You will only be considered if you leave me in a comment on this video your favorite Rembrandt painting. Gotta do something to win this virtuous white pen. Now then, go on, tell me your painting. I think we should all kindly thank Appelboom for sponsoring this giveaway, because he just sent me that pen free of charge, which is amazing, and now one of you gets to actually use it. Let's do that. Leave your comment. Guys, I hope this was useful, and I'll gladly see you later. Bye-bye.